Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all from the other session. So this is our continuation about what? About autotrophic nutrition. So to remind you from what we studied there in the other part one, we looked at the chemosynthesis. So this is another part which is the photosynthesis. Now from our primary, actually in the primary 4, if I'm to remember, they defined photosynthesis as the process by which green plants use energy to manufacture their own what? Their own food. That was primary. But now this is an advanced level. So when we talk about photosynthesis, is the formation of complex organic substances inside the cell containing chlorophyll from carbon dioxide and what? And water, using sunlight what? Sunlight energy. So the definition of photosynthesis in A level, they have just added something small, but it is related to the other one. So they have just modified, or they have added some few words. Then from there, is this photosynthesis important? The answer is yes. Photosynthesis is what? Is important to us and to plants. So the first importance is that it is the means by which the sun's energy is captured by plants for use by all organisms. Remember we say that these plants obtain sunlight energy which they use in the process of manufacturing their own what? Their own food. Then number 2, we say that it provides a source of complex organic molecules for heterotrophic nutrition. So in those episodes to come, or in the next videos, we shall also break down what we call heterotrophic what? Heterotrophic nutrition. Then the third one is that this process also releases oxygen for use by aerobic organisms. So here when we talk about aerobic organisms, those are organisms which uses oxygen. Those organisms are called the aerobic what? Organisms. And those ones which use carbon dioxide are called the anaerobes, or aerobic what? Anaerobic organism. Then part 4, or the next answer is that it reduces on gaseous carbon dioxide which would accumulate in the atmosphere to cause greenhouse what? Greenhouse effect. Of course. So when plants are manufacturing their own food, we say that these plants obtain, or they absorb what we call carbon dioxide from where? From the atmosphere. And as the process, as they are obtaining carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, these plants are what? Are reducing on the accumulation of this carbon dioxide what? Gases, which would have caused the greenhouse effect. So we shall look at this greenhouse effect when we are in what? When we are in ecology. So I don't want to go deep into that, but we shall look at it in what? In ecology. Then another thing they always ask about photosynthesis is the general adaptations of leaves for photosynthesis. So very many people are failing this question of adaptations. Now, when you are answering such a question about adaptations, you specify a specific feature of that organism. Then from there, you give its function. How does that feature enables this organism to carry out what? A specific function. For example, here now, okay, I was giving an example. So here, you can compare people when they give you two gallows, a small one with a small nyash and the one with the big nyash. Now they say give the adaptation of those gallows. You mentioning that the big nyash is an adaptation. Now, how is it important? It makes that person look what? Attractive. That is an adaptation. So let me leave that aside. Let me go back to the what? To the content. Now, the adaptations of leaves for photosynthesis are grouped into 3. One is adaptation for obtaining sunlight. Then we have adaptations for gas entry and exit. Then adaptations for liquid entry and exit. Those are 3 adaptations of leaves for photosynthesis. So you may specify, you get. They can ask you adaptations for obtaining sunlight. So I want you to be able to identify only those adaptations which enables these leaves for obtaining or to obtain what? Sunlight. So don't go off track. Now, the first one, we are going to talk about phototropism. Now, when we talk about phototropism, this causes shoots to grow towards light in order to obtain what? To obtain energy. That is the phototropism. The word photo means what? Light. Then we have what we call etiolation. So this causes rapid elongation of shaded shoots to enable them access what? Access light. Then the part 3 or another adaptation for obtaining sunlight, we have the mosaic leaf arrangement minimizes leaf overlap and reduces leaves shading each other. Then another one we shall look at the leaf large surface area enables capturing maximum sunlight. Then you have the thinness of leaves enables maximum light penetration. So when the leaf is thin, or the thinner the leaf, the more light can penetrate through that leaf. Then number 6, we shall look at the transparency of the leaf cuticle and the epidermis allow light penetration into photosynthetic photosynthetic mesophyll. Then number 7, we are going to talk about that the palisade mesophyll cells are densely packed with the chloroplasts to trap to trap much light. So when you look at the leaf, the internal structures of the leaf. So here, when you look at the palisade mesophyll, these cells are densely packed with the numerous chloroplasts to trap maximum light. Then we talk about cyclosis. People, I want you to get this. I've ever seen this question somewhere in a mock body. They say define the term cyclosis. So cyclosis means the movement of chloroplasts within the mesophyll the mesophyll cells. That is the term called cyclosis. I said I saw this word somewhere in a certain mock body. They were asking define the term cyclosis. So in simple terms, it means the movement of chloroplasts within the mesophyll cells. So this allows the repositioning in the direction of of light. That is the cyclosis. Then number 9, another adaptation, we are saying that the chloroplasts hold the chlorophyll in order, so in an ordered way on the sides of the grana to prevent maximum chlorophyll to the light, and also bring it close to other organisms, stock substances necessary for functioning. Then number 10, we shall look at the multiple cell layers in the palisade mesophyll of sunny plants increases the photosynthetic the photosynthetic efficiency. So those are some of the adaptations of leaves for obtaining sunlight. I said these adaptations are divided into 3. That one, it was the first adaptation. So let us look at the other adaptation. Now this adaptation is going to deal with the adaptations of leaves to carry out gas entry and exit. Here we are saying that one of the adaptation is numerous stomata are present in the epidermis of leaves to enable entry and exit of gases. Then number 2, we are going to look at the guard cells bordering the stomata. Pores can be opened and closed to regulate the uptake of carbon dioxide and the loss of water. Then number 3, we shall look at the sponge mesophyll possesses many air spaces to enable faster and uninterrupted diffusion of gases between the atmosphere and the the palisade mesophyll, which would not happen if the gases were to diffuse through the cells themselves, a process which would be much slower. So those are some of the adaptations of leaves to carry out what we call gas entry and exit. We talked about the numerous stomata. We talked about the guard cells bordering the stomata pores, which can be open and closed. Then even the sponge what? The sponge mesophyll. So from there, let us look at the last part of the what? Of the adaptations. Now, this is the adaptations of the adaptations of leaves for liquid entry and exit. Now, here we are going to talk about the large central midrib containing a large vesicular bundles. So when we talk about vesicular bundles are of two. One is called the xylem and the other one is called what? The phloem. So the xylem, this one majorly transports mineral salts and what? And water. Then the phloem, this one carries food in the form of what? In the form of sugar solution. So we are saying that these leaves have got a large central midrib containing a large vesicular bundle. So this enables movement of or entry of liquids and the exit into leaves. Then number 2 is the small network of veins, which is found throughout the leaf to ensure that every cell is closed to the xylem vessel or phloem sieve tube for constantly supply of water for photosynthesis and the means of removing the sugars they produce. So those ones are the adaptations of leaves for photosynthesis. We said the one was the adaptation of leaves for obtaining what? Sunlight. Then 2, this was the adaptation of leaves for gas entry and the exit. Then number 3 is the adaptations of leaves for liquid entry and the exit. But when you're answering such a question, if they did not specify that give for this, please don't also specify. Don't commit yourself and specify. For you just list, if they just like they can say state or give or mention or give they can say state the adaptation of leaves for carrying out what? Photosynthesis. For example, you just give, you don't specify. So you only specify when the question requires that specific what? Adaptations. So from there, I think let me also end this part here for photosynthesis, and we shall look at the chloroplasts next. So I sign out.